From the farmers and ranchers of Farm Bureau, this is Farm Weekend. USDA's Animal and Plant Health Inspection Service announced a new federal directive on testing raw milk for avian influenza. Chad Smith has more.
The new APHIS federal rules on testing raw milk are part of a larger strategy to help mitigate the spread of highly pathogenic avian influenza in dairy cattle, also protecting U.S. trade relations. Jordy Nelson, an economist at the American Farm Bureau Federation, said the goal is to get rid of H5N1 once and for all.
This new order is essentially designed to complement the existing order by setting up a 5-stage testing protocol and response system. Now, this is supposed to be completely up and running in about 2 months. They're going to be starting with states that have demonstrated proficiency in some of their testing programs.
Nelson said the testing plan progresses from the local level to eventually reach regionalization.
And stage 1, we're standing up mandatory testing of national plants and silos. Stage 2 is determining a state's overall HPAI status in dairy cattle. Now, stage 3 involves detecting and responding to the virus in an affected state. Stage 4 will be demonstrating the ongoing absence of avian influenza in dairy cattle. If negative samples continue to show up, APHIS will continually decrease the number of samples as time goes on, eventually leading to stage 5, which is demonstrating a state's freedom from the disease.
Nelson said the end goal is to completely eliminate the disease in dairy cattle.
Now, in order to do this, we need to kind of implement these protocols on a regionalized basis to try and eliminate it herd by herd and then keep it out. So another thing that's going on here is there are vaccines that are under development, and that will likely be a part of these protocols as we move forward.
Chad Smith, Washington.
Jordy Nelson joins us in January. More when Farm Weekend returns.
Hey, farmers and ranchers, just as you do ride-alongs to inspect your fields and cattle, make sure you do the same for your mental well-being. Take time to check in with yourself and your neighbors. And if you find yourself in a crisis, remember, there's immediate help available at 988. Mental health is just as vital as the health of your farm. Let's prioritize it together. This message brought to you by Kansas Farm Bureau and Kansas Farmers Union.
Kansas Farm Bureau's foundation is one of 4 organizations receiving nearly $1 million in Hunger-Free Kansas transformation grants from the Kansas Health Foundation. With nearly $300,000 in funding, the foundation will establish a regional food hub in Sedgwick County to strengthen food production, processing, and distribution. This initiative emphasizes economic development and community engagement, aiming to improve access to nutritious food and build a stronger food system for Kansans. We are so excited to welcome Jordy Nelson as our closing fireside chat speaker on January 12th during the Young Farmers and Ranchers Conference, January 10th through 12th. Go online to KFB.org to register and learn more. Registration closes December 20th. Next, Insight with Jackie Munt.
Frustrated with your current healthcare coverage? Kansans are saving up to 60% a month with Kansas Farm Bureau health plans. Choose from individual and family plans, short-term coverage, or dental and vision plans. It's quality coverage you can afford. Learn more and get a free quote by visiting kfbhealthplans.com or visiting a Farm Bureau Financial Services agent near you.
Now, Insight with Jackie Munt.
This season's first calf arrived a little over 4 weeks early. The little guy only weighed 35 pounds, which is about half the size of a typical newborn. Over the next few days, we spent a lot of extra time feeding him and helping him to work on standing on his own. I'd love to tell you that the premature calf defied the odds and is thriving today. But this isn't Hollywood, and his little body gave up on day 5. Anytime a calf dies, it's hard, but when you invest so many hours, it's completely crushing. Farm life is full of miraculous and beautiful moments. It can also be devastating and heart-wrenching. Calving season most vividly juxtaposes these two feelings in a roller coaster of ups and downs that flow quickly through time. In farming, you can't worry too much about the future. It's better to focus on the here and now, celebrating the small victories, being thankful for whatever little progress you made. This calf only made it 4 days, but it wasn't likely to survive 2. 4 days isn't long, but for this one little calf, it was a whole lifetime. When a story reaches its end, we can find peace in knowing we tried, even if we didn't succeed.
Join us next weekend for another edition of Farm Weekend from Kansas Farm Bureau, the voice of agriculture.